Are you a fan of Bud Light? Then we have some sad news for you. Modelo Especial has replaced the struggling Bud Light as the most popular beer in the United States. In both May and June of this year, Modelo outsold Bud Light in retail sales. So why and how did Modelo overtake Bud Light? Modelo, a beer owned by Consol Brands, may come as a bit of a surprise to those who are not closely following the beer industry. It shouldn't be, because the brand's expansion is a result of general industry changes that are still occurring. Although the recent controversy around Bud Light's marketing partnership with a transgender influencer and widespread outrage about beers becoming more progressive may have hurried up the process in a touch, analysts say this was going to happen sooner or later regardless. The Bud Light brand has been declining for some years before the boycott. Modelo, meanwhile, continued to show growth. In-store retail sales eventually managed to catch up and surpass Bud Light. This was something that had to happen, according to Brian Roth, publisher of feel-goods company newsletter Sightlines Plus, and analyst for both beverage brands Stadio. Modelo was destined to become #1 beer in the nation, bar none. According to the author, this was a story already written, and Bud Light just so happened to have this controversy come up this year, which hastened to get to this chapter of the story. There is a new kind of beer in town right now. So what made Modelo take over Bud Light? Modelo has advanced in the rankings because it wasn't even a top 10 beer 10 years ago. Modelo was the 7th highest-selling beer in chain retail dollars in America in 2018. It was ranked 2nd at the start of this year. According to Garrett Nelson, Vice President and Senior Equity Analyst of CFRA's research, several factors, including the rising popularity of imported beer brands, demographic changes, Constellation's capacity growth to meet demand, and most recently, the demise of Bud Light, have helped Modelo advance in recent years. The overall mix of beers that are sold in the United States has changed as more Latino and Hispanic drinkers have attained the legal drinking age. The nation's expanding Hispanic population has aided Modelo's expansion. According to Vivian Azer, a senior research analyst at Cowen, the Modelo brand over-indexes to an unaccelerated Hispanic consumers, noting that the firm claimed in 2016 that the increase of the Hispanic population in the US accounts for 3 points of its sales algorithm. The Wall Street Journal notes that in Modelo's 29 fiscal year, 70% of its customers were Hispanic. It has also become popular with non-Hispanic customers who, according to Constellation, now make up about 45% of its clientele. According to the website Good Beer Hunting, Hispanic households purchase Modelo at a higher rate than non-Hispanic households do, yet non-Hispanic households consume more Modelo overall. In California, as well as the metropolitan areas of Chicago, Dallas, and Baltimore, Modelo is the most popular brand. In recent years, Mexican import beers, in particular, have prospered, while imports have not. According to the New York Times, although imports from other countries decreased, Mexican beer imports to the US increased by twofold between 2013 and 2022. For whatever reason, American drinkers associate Mexican import lagers with beach season, with sort of affordable luxury with an attractive, active lifestyle, so they get a little bit of a halo there, said Dave Infante, a beer columnist for Vine Pair and the publisher of the beverages newsletter Fingers. Constellation has, for the most part, done an excellent job of ensuring that they don't mess it up and allow it to continue to cook and climb in popularity. There are some powerful, broad, multi-decade-long trends that are wind at the back of a brand like Modelo, says Constellation. According to Infante, Grupo Modelo's Corona was more popular among American drinkers for a longer period and has less novelty now. In cans, which customers like when purchasing from a store, Modelo also plays better. Modelo does cost more than beers like Bud Light, and its popularity is a result of larger trends of customers upgrading to more expensive products and a premiumization of the alcohol industry that emphasizes quality. Young drinkers are looking for novelties as well, and some of them appear to have discovered Modelo. In this industry, you hear it frequently remarked that no one wants to drink the same beer that their father did, according to Infante. It's a cliche because it's generally accurate. The business that owns Bud Light, Anheuser-Busch InBev, stands in the way of Modelo ending up in Constellation Brands' lap. In 2012, AB InBev decided to pay $20 billion to acquire Grupo Modelo, the company behind brands including Modelo and Corona. The merger was challenged by the Department of Justice because it would hurt competition and perhaps raise prices. The parties eventually agreed to let the acquisition proceed. AB InBev needed to transfer its Modelo business in the US to another party. Constellation Brands, a then relatively modest wine and beverages corporation, seized control in this manner. It's challenging to imagine alternative outcomes, but Modelo's expansion might not have occurred had it remained in AB InBev's portfolio rather than moving to Constellation's, according to Roth. in this business was well known for its wine, spirits, Svedka vodka, and Arbor mists, wine coolers, when they gained access to Corona and Modelo, two Mexican beer imports that provided them something they hadn't had before, while also giving them a chance to concentrate on something special in the American beer market and draw attention to it in a way that others couldn't, he added. Modelo and Corona would have become no more than two additional beers under the AB InBev brand. They are unique here at Constellation. 2015 saw the launch of English language Modelo advertisements. After signing a contract to replace Bud Light as the official beer of the UFC in 2017, the company began to grow. These were brands, Modelo especially, that got a lot of attention from Constellation Brands. It had the financial might behind it to make these partnerships and promotions happen, said Roth. If you are a Bud Light, you are not currently having a good time. Bud Light's loss isn't necessarily made up for by Modelo. Due to Bud's difficulties, rival beers have probably gained a little more traction, judging by the differing costs. Miller Lite, Coors Light, Pabst, and Yuengling appear to be gaining market shares as a result of the boycott of Bud Light, according to Asia. Even though the situation is not urgent, it is not ideal for Bud Light or AB InBev right now. The repercussions from the debate around Bud Light's promotional alliance with transgender celebrity Dylan Mulvaney have had far-reaching reverberations. According to the company's most recent earning report, second quarter sales and profitability declined in the US. It was brought on by a loss of market share, the need to spend more on marketing, and the need to assist distributors who are unintentionally harmed by the boycott of Bud Light. However, AB InBev's earnings did exceed forecasts, and the firm reported that a consumer survey it conducted in the quarter revealed that 80% of respondents had either a favourable or neutral opinion of the Bud Light brand. Before the Dylan Mulvaney controversy, Bud Light was already in decline, and the company faced additional issues. According to Infante, attempts to make Bud Light Next, a beer with no carbohydrates, a reality during the previous year failed. In terms of the company's total portfolio, he claimed it's a non-factor. It's a problem that probably makes distributors' exciting problems worse. Even Bud Light's offer of a $15 rebate on sales made around the 4th of July, according to Asia, fell flat. She stated that consumers who have chosen to leave the Bud Light franchise have probably left the franchise permanently. What's the future of the beer industry? Modelo, Bud Light, or the entire beer industry as a whole? It's difficult to predict where it will go next. According to Roth, it is both plausible and likely that Michelob Ultra, an AB InBev product marketed as a sort of healthier beer alternative, would soon overtake Bud Light as the number 2 beer, moving it into third place. In the US, overall beer sales are already declining. While doing so, beer companies face a risk of tripping over a bear trap. Beer companies need to find new strategies to sell their brands to various consumers. In a sense, that is how Bud Light initially found itself in its current situation. At least for the time being, according to Infante, the days of one beer being able to satisfy everyone are gone. Businesses now have to stick to their niche markets and can't truly try to appeal to everyone. I don't think we'll see another Bud Light type product in this market for at least another 2 decades, he predicted. In the future, if that kind of all-market product is ever going to come back, it will. Right now, it won't. Bottoms up as you wait. That's it, guys. Cheers for more videos and subscribe to this channel for more content like this. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up. Thanks for watching. Bye.